Now, Sky Arts has launched a new season known as Art 50 in the wake of the whole Brexit vote and the Brexit project. So this is it's commissioned 50 artists from a variety of disciplines to explore what it means to be British today. And one of those commissioned was Small Town Politics by Gulliver Moore, an online sitcom exploring the life of a young female mayor in post-Brexit Britain. So before we talk to the director, let's have a sneak peek.
Honestly, this Green Trees initiative is about so much more than just planting a few trees. It's about looking after our environment for future generations. It's about looking after our planet for our children. It's about trying to unite people in a Brexit-divided country, about putting politics aside and coming together as a community. And it's about sticking it to Village of Culture, Barton upon Tweed, once and for all. Who's with me?
Well, we tried.
See, that really appeals to me, I've got to say. Johnny is in the studio, co-writer and director of Small Town Politics, Gulliver Moore. It is good to see you.
Thank you.
How do you approach a project like this in terms of what aspects you want to focus on?
It's something that's been on the back burner for years, actually, because my brother was the mayor of the town we grew up in when he was 21. So I always thought that made such a good concept for a film, so I had to do something with it. And then
was he a blundering mayor like that one?
No, he was fantastic, and she has her upsides as well. But he's retired now at the grand old age of 22. But I always thought I had to make something with it, and so when this opportunity came along, we kind of brushed the dust off, and it was a long process of script writing and script editing. And me and my writing partner, Ollie Clubb, we wrote the story outlines and the characters, and then with our producer, Nick Coop, we found the fantastic writer, Jenny Bays, who came in with a fresh perspective and wrote all the dialogue. And yeah, it's a long process, there's a lot to organise, but it's so much fun. How
do you go about shooting someone? Because this, you know, for an online series... No, shooting something, I meant to say. But in terms of... but it's something which is so... I mean, it's so professional.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so absolutely top-notch.
I guess you work with fantastic people, really, people that you've worked with for years before and that you trust, and you know, it all comes together. So you have a fantastically talented team of cinematographers and lighting designers and sound recordists and costume designers and makeup artists, and they all come together to make it happen.
Is this sort of humour? It does. I mean, obviously, this is it's focusing on Britain, but it does seem to be particularly British. This genre, that very small town aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost sort of League of Gentlemen British, isn't it, looking at that intricacy? Yeah,
I mean, we didn't set out to create something in particular. I guess we just wrote what we knew, and, you know, I come from a small town in the countryside, and that's my kind of humour, so that's kind of what came out, I guess.
And we've got this sort of quite wide array of political characters at the moment. Did you take inspiration from any of them for any of the characters that you've put in there?
No characters in particular, but I think...
Sort of a meld of people.
Yeah, we definitely took inspiration from the kind of chaotic political scene at the moment in the country, for sure.
It's quite nice to have a sort of main character who is, you know, very earnest, you know, not overly successful.
We did take inspiration from other shows that have come before us, so we always pitched it as The Thick of It meets The Vicar of Dibley.
Ah, oh, very clever. Very clever. So how topical does it get in terms of the issues which we're thinking about?
It pokes fun at both sides of the spectrum, but I think Daisy Adams, our lead character, is quite a liberal character, and she's got her you know, important agendas that she's trying to push on the town, but she always just gets caught up dealing with petty little civil disputes and crusty old Conservative council members.
And are you finding that you've tapped into a sort of zeitgeist of people who... Are people ready to laugh at all of this stuff?
I think so. I think people are ready to laugh at anything.
I think we're just so Brexited out that we need this kind of light repeat.
Yeah, there's a few Brexit-specific jokes in there, but I think that you can approach it with fresh eyes, as, you know, as slightly separated from Brexit.
Where does this leave you now in terms of your career then, after doing something, obviously, that is proving to be successful, that's all, you know, tied in with Sky Arts? Where does that leave you in terms of what you do next?
Well, for me, it's just the next project, really, which it always seems to be comedy, and whenever I try and sit down and write something serious, it always ends up being a comedy, so I've learned to embrace that. So I've got a few new projects in the pipeline.
But does this give you a boost when you're pitching ideas to production?
Yeah, well, this is a mini-series, so the idea is hopefully to get this commissioned into a full series further down the line, which would be fantastic.
Oh, very nice. I'd like to see that on Sky One. That would be very good.
How many episodes?
3 episodes for this one.
3.
Yeah.
Actually, that's quite nice for something which has. Yeah, it's a thinking comedy.
Yeah.
Because presumably, it's not slapstick, is it? You come away from this with something to actually ponder and snigger about in the hours past.
Yeah, I hope so.
What about the characters in this? How do you go about casting it? Because we know the female, your lead character, as I said to you before, I recognise her.
Yeah, Liz Kingsman. We're very lucky to have her. She's fantastic, perfect for Daisy Adams. But our producer, Nick Coop, is fantastic at just knowing the casting industry inside out. And so together with him, we kind of worked up our shortlist and kind of worked our way down. And we were blessed with the most incredible cast of
You'll
characters.
get them all banging on your door after this.
I hope so. So where do we stream it?
So it's being broadcast on Sky Arts later this year, and
Right.
we're doing some screenings at the Barbican at the end of February. And you can follow updates on my social channels just at Gulliver Moore.
Oh, thank you. You know what? What a professional plugger. Gulliver, really good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I do like that sort of humour. Just appeals to me. OK, I don't think the weather's going to be very funny for us today, though, is Naz?